Well, welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the African trip. I'm sorry. Oh, not the African trip, but the Alaskan trip. The African trip has done and happened, and it's over with. But we're going to talk a little bit about the Alaskan trip that me and my buddy Matt's going to do. If you don't know, maybe you're just stumbling across, and you're going to maybe stumble across this video. We're doing a ride from North Carolina. We're going from there to Key West, and that's our real kickoff points in Key West. We're leaving Key West, going to Savannah, going to D.C., going by the Flight 93 Memorial, on to Cleveland, around Cleveland, and up to Milwaukee. From Milwaukee to Sioux City, I think, or Sioux Falls one, I can't remember. But over there near South Dakota. Crossing South Dakota, going outside, I can't remember the name of the town, but it's close to Sturgis and Mount Rushmore. Leaving Rushmore, going to Skatoon, Canada, and then up to Dawson Creek and up through Canada to Fairbanks, and then from Fairbanks to Dead Horse, Alaska, which is the beginning of the road and the end of the road. You can't go any further north by road, and you can't go any further south in the United States by road. So, want to talk just to you a little bit about some of the preparations that we've done and have been doing. And I guess you could imagine, to do a ride like this, it takes quite a bit of, thought and effort. And me and Matt has been fortunate enough to to be able to get two brand new Yamaha Super Teneres, and they're an adventure touring bike. Now, granted, the majority of our riding it's all going to be on road. I mean, the road's just some bad going up to Dead Horse, but I feel like that you could pretty much, as long as it was dry, I think you could pretty much take about any bike. There's been everything up there from Heritage Softails to old Indians and everything in between. I think some dude rode a scooter up there, but anyway, we opted. I've never had a new motorcycle in my entire life. I've always had used bikes. I take that back. I had one new motorcycle when I was very young. My grandpa bought it for me. That was the first real mini bike. The other one was I had a mini bike, but it was a really good one that he got me. And hopefully we're gonna get some. I can find some pictures of that somewhere. And then looking for pictures, not of Matt's first bike, but his first ride, and he wrecked and tore himself all to pieces. Had to have stitches and this and that and the other. But on this Alaskan trip, excuse me, I've got to have a little sip of coffee every now and again. But on the Alaskan trip, what does it take to do this? And you could do it in a vehicle, or a truck, or but the thing you need some type of vehicle. For us is a bike, and then the other big item that you need time. And we're looking at approximately a 30-day trip. Now, we're leaving there from Dead Horse, Alaska, coming back to Fairbanks. And somewhere's either when we get to Fairbanks or get back from Dead Horse, we got to change tires. And coming back down through Canada, but on the other side of the Canadian Rockies. We're going up one side of the Canadian Rockies and then coming back down on the other side of them and coming down into Seattle. And, then we're going to be in Seattle because that's where Matt lives. We'll be there for a day or so, oil changes, things like that. And then we're leaving from Seattle, coming down through Washington, Oregon, into Salt Lake City down to the bottom of Utah, and then across, Colorado, going through Rocky Mountain National Park. We're going to try. I mean, I'm hoping that I get to ride Pikes Peak. I've never rode that. And then from there, it's just a push right back into Western North Carolina, which is a couple of days. But we're looking at a total of somewhere around 13,500 miles, maybe 14,000. And we've got roughly 30 days to do this, and at 13.5, I think it comes out to 466 miles a day that me and him has to ride. So, you have to prepare yourself for that type of riding. Physically, for one, it's very important for me and for him to. You may say, well, just put in miles and miles and miles, and that is important, but to be in decent shape, I mean, you need to have some abdominal muscles build up. It's good to have your back muscles build up. I don't know. It's like I told him, I'm not going to do much running because I ain't planning on pushing these motorcycles. But anyway, we need the other thing that you need to be in shape. And one of the key things is for me and him is quit drinking soft drinks, or at least not so many, and just to have good health. Is very important because you're going to be doing a lot of miles. And you need to be in somewhat shape because fatigue is going to set in, especially if some days some of our days is nearly 800 miles. So when we're just trying to push through and get where we're going, but and those days are not very fun. I mean, yeah, they're long days. It's not that they're miserable, but it can be if you're just hurting and you're so tired. It could be very miserable, and it can also be dangerous. So that's one of the things. But one of the other things that you need is, you need to figure out how much money you're going to need. And, that's going to consist of lodging and food and fuel and, maintenance on the bike, tires and oil changes and etc., things of that nature. And then you need some, an emergency plan. If something happens, how are you, what are you going to do? Are you leaving the bike? Are you having it towed home? Whatever you're doing with the bike. But anyway, those are just a few of the things that goes into consideration. And with me and him trying to do the ride to raise awareness for suicide, veteran suicide in particular, and people that suffers with the depression, the PTSD, and it's not just PTSD, it's other things. I mean, it's the stresses of life and all those things combined. And that people find themselves, even if they're not veterans, people can find themselves in desperate and dark places in their life. And we want to bring awareness to that because it's one of the things that people does not talk about really at all in any segment or of the society that I'm involved with. No one talks about suicide and and people that's struggling with those thoughts and those tendencies. And to help bring some awareness to that, to help bring some hope. And me and Matt, he's definitely had his struggles with it, and I have myself also. And even though I'm not a veteran, but we want to this to be a very positive, encouraging, and it's an adventure. I mean, and if you're geared like I'm geared, and you may not be, but the thought of an adventure, of going somewhere you've never been before, seeing something you've never seen before, experiencing something that you've never experienced before, those things are very exciting, and for me they're very motivating. It's like me and Matt talked, and I said, our butts are going to be screaming, "What is wrong with you? What are you doing?" And that part of our body's going to be like, "You're stupid, stop, please quit punishing me." But then on the other end, you got your eyes that are saying, "Oh my goodness, this is glorious, this is magnificent." So, there is some trade-offs, and all these things, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what weather you're going to face. You don't know if you're going to get flat tires on the Tundra and not have no help. You know, you don't know when you're going to, you know, have to use your emergency fuel and things of that nature. And you know, we're not scheduling, you know, we're not planning to reserve rooms all along the ride. I mean, we're just going to try to find accommodations because we don't exactly know. I've never been up through Canada through that part, and you know, we don't exactly know where we're going to end up to, and from day to day. I mean, we've got a plan, but you know, you don't know if you're going to make that, or you're going to get a day behind, or you know. So it's really difficult to book rooms in advance when you don't know if you're going to make a certain distance. You know, you hope to, but you just don't know. If one of us gets sick, I mean, we could possibly be, you know, sitting somewhere for you know, a day or two. But anyway, just wanted to kind of give you guys a little brief overview of our Alaskan trip. And if you know, have stumbled across the channel, you know, this next little segment's going to be some riding and me, you know, last spring riding here at home. And we want to say thanks to everyone that likes the videos. You know, if you don't care, please forward it along to somebody that might like it. And subscribe. It don't cost you anything to subscribe. I'm in the process of putting together a lot of African stuff, and you know, I would really like to, when we finish this ride up and we get all the footage and everything out there of it, would like to you know, start showing some things, and I might even start showing some anyway. Some of our adventures in Africa. I've been going for 12 years now, so I've had quite a few adventures over there. And but I hope you guys enjoy this little riding clip that's coming up, and stay tuned for next week. It ought to be good. I should have, by the time you guys see the next video, we should have 2 brand new motorcycles sitting out here at the house, and Matt's on the process of ordering crash bars and panniers and all the other junk that we got to put on the bikes, just so that if we do wipe out, maybe they'll keep running. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.